Welcome back to my channel. You're listening to Season 8. In this season, we'll dive into the big shifts shaping how we design, build, and run technology, and how these shifts connect to the way we think about business, services, and people. The world of IT and digital transformation is full of buzzwords: Agile, DevOps, product centricity, AI. But behind every term, there's a deeper story about where it came from, the problems it tried to solve, and what it really means in practice. This season is about more than just laying eggs. It's about cackling too, sharing experiences, learning from mistakes, and building collective knowledge. We'll explore the history of agile software development, the move from projects to true product thinking, and how to manage a backlog that actually delivers value. We'll talk about business model and value proposition canvases, what makes a strong business case, and why the shift from body leasing to a consulting mindset is so critical. There will be episodes on service excellence, DevOps culture, ITIL processes, service blueprints, and even the realities of running transactional systems like SAP. And of course, we'll look ahead at how AI and Gen AI are changing software development and requirements engineering. Some episodes will be short reflections. Others will go deep into frameworks and practices. And sometimes we'll bring in voices from the field who are living these challenges every day. So, wherever you are, commuting, working out, or just taking a break, welcome to Season 8 of my channel. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going on a journey to explore AI not just as a futuristic concept, but as a very real part of our lives, with a special focus on the land of watches, chocolate, and innovation, Switzerland. Today we look at managing the backlog. At first glance, a backlog may seem like just a list of tasks, something like a giant to-do list for a team. But in reality, the backlog is much more than that. It is a living, breathing reflection of strategy, priorities, and the flow of work. When managed well, the backlog becomes the single source of truth that aligns business goals with team activities. When managed poorly, it becomes a dumping ground of half-baked ideas, outdated requests, and impossible expectations. In this episode, we will explore what a backlog really is, how it should be organized, and how stable product teams can use it to balance short-term demand with long-term value. The backlog is not just a container for tasks. Its deeper purpose is to act as a bridge between the outside world of demand and the inside world of a product team. On the outside, you have business stakeholders, customers, regulatory needs, and technical improvements. On the inside, you have a team that delivers software or services. The backlog connects these two worlds. Think of it as a funnel. Many ideas and requests flow in at the top, but only a smaller number are refined, prioritized, and delivered at the bottom. The backlog helps separate what is important from what is merely noise. A backlog can contain many different kinds of items. There are features, new capabilities for users. There are bugs, issues that must be fixed. There are technical improvements, like refactoring or automation. There are research tasks, experiments to test an idea. And sometimes there are regulatory or compliance requirements that must be met. All of these items compete for space in the backlog. That is why backlog management is not just recording tasks, but making deliberate choices about what matters most. The heart of backlog management is prioritization. Because the backlog will always be longer than what a team can deliver, choices must be made. Some teams use simple methods. Ask the product owner to rank items. Others use structured methods. For example, assessing each item by value, risk, and effort. No matter the method, the point is the same: to make transparent decisions about what gets attention first. A useful mindset is that the backlog should always reflect the next most valuable piece of work. Not the loudest request, not the pet project of a manager, but the work that delivers the most value for users or reduces the biggest risks for the organization. Because backlogs are living artifacts, they require care. Just as a garden becomes overgrown without pruning, a backlog becomes messy without regular refinement. Backlog refinement means reviewing items, clarifying them, splitting large ideas into smaller deliverables, removing outdated entries, and reprioritizing based on new information. This is not a one-time event, but an ongoing discipline. Teams that neglect refinement often find themselves paralyzed. They have hundreds of items in the backlog, but no one knows what half of them mean or whether they are still relevant. Refinement keeps the backlog healthy and actionable. Stable, long-lived product teams are especially powerful in managing backlogs. In a project-oriented setup, new teams are formed for each demand, which leads to backlogs that are inconsistent or constantly reset. In a product-oriented model, the backlog belongs to the team for the long term. The team learns its product deeply, understands recurring patterns, and develops intuition about what matters most. This stability allows the team to make smarter prioritization choices. They are not just delivering tasks. They are stewarding the evolution of a product over time. A common problem in backlog management is too much work in progress. Teams try to deliver too many things at once, which leads to delays, context switching, and frustration. By organizing work through a backlog and limiting how much is taken on at a time, product teams improve focus. They can finish what they start, deliver value in increments, and avoid the chaos of spreading themselves too thin. This is where backlog management connects directly to flow efficiency. A smaller number of well-chosen items, completed quickly, creates more value than a large number of half-done tasks. Another strength of backlog management is transparency. When the backlog is visible, stakeholders can see what is being worked on and what is waiting. They may not always agree with the priorities, but at least they understand the reasoning. This reduces surprises and builds trust. Backlogs can even serve as conversation tools. When a new request comes in, the product owner can place it on the backlog and say, "Here is where it fits in relation to other priorities." That makes trade-offs explicit. In practice, managing a backlog is always a balancing act. Too much rigidity and the backlog becomes a straitjacket, unable to adapt to change. Too much flexibility and it becomes chaotic with priorities shifting daily. The art lies in holding both stability and adaptability. Stability, so the team can focus. Adaptability, so the backlog reflects new realities. This balancing act is never finished. It is an ongoing discipline, requiring judgment, dialogue, and courage to say no when needed. Today we explored backlog management as more than just a task list. We saw how it serves as the bridge between demand and delivery, how it must be prioritized and refined, how stable product teams bring long-term stewardship, and how limiting work in progress improves focus. In our next episode, we will widen our perspective from the backlog to the business itself. We will look at tools like the business model canvas and the value proposition canvas, and how they help connect the work of technology teams to real customer needs and business outcomes. Stay tuned for episode 6 of my channel.